Welcome to another episode of Kickin' It with Kendra, brought to you by Victory Rings. Excellence is the standard. Today we get a superstar joining us, Nehemiah Martinez, the senior wide receiver for Abilene Christian. Currently leads the nation in receiving yards with 611 and receiving touchdowns with 8. Nehemiah, how are you doing today as you're midway through the season, gearing up for the second half of conference play?
Just ready, looking forward to this next game.
Absolutely. And, last week it was a huge battle against number 5 Central Arkansas at the time. You had 7 catches, 202 yards. That's a season best for you, and 3 touchdowns in the 41-34 victory over Central Arkansas. So let's first start with that first touchdown that really set the Wildcats up for success. It looked like you were going to go lose yards to start, and then you somehow broke a tackle and managed to weave your way through the defense for a 70-yard touchdown. What did you see on that allowed you to stay up and be able to score that one?
Just once I broke that first tackle, I saw a lane and just tried to be a running back at that point once I got the ball. And once I got in the open, it was a great feeling knowing that once I break free, that I had some blockers downfield. Blaine was heading downfield. Trey had a guy held up. So, it was a great feeling, but I just saw a lane and took it.
And going back a little bit before the game, because you knew what this matchup was going to be going in, what was one thing that Keith Patterson told the team to get ready, to get in that mindset, to go out there and go to war against this team?
We've just been talking about how it's us against us, and the opponent that we're going against, it doesn't really matter whether they're ranked, not ranked, or anything like that. That if we could just play our type of ball and do what we know that we can do, then we'll win.
And going back to the other 2 touchdowns that you had, a 26-yard touchdown pass and then a 3-yard pass that really helped build that cushion in the fourth quarter. Take us through what you saw in each of those plays. 3 touchdowns in one game, pretty impressive.
That 26-yarder, I think that it was just a great call. But our coaches put us in great positions to succeed. That's where I credit most of my success to, is just, great play calls, and then the guys up front doing their job, doing a great job. And then, that one was probably the easiest touchdown of my life. It was just, once I got it, there was no one around. So that one was great. And on a 3-yard reception, it was a little cloudy in the front. Shout out to Isaiah Johnson. He had a long run and got tackled short of the goal line and gave us a freebie. But on that one, Maverick just threw a great ball. He couldn't have thrown the ball any better, had perfect placement. And so just another easy touchdown for me from other guys doing their job and being great at their job.
When you hear the accolades that you get, so UAC Offensive Player of the Week, and you're leading the nation in receiving yards, leading the nation in receiving touchdowns, do you ever take a moment just to appreciate those moments? So far, are you so focused on the rest of the season? Do you get to take it in and know that you're leading the nation in a few categories?
I think at first I was getting kind of annoyed with the accolades. It just saying, "Oh, you're the number 1 leading receiver," blah blah blah. Because we're only 6 games into the season, so to me, it doesn't really mean that much. But then on the other side of that, I got to appreciate it a little bit and just thank God for what He's brought me through and where I'm at right now, and just kind of appreciate this moment a little bit instead of trying to be, so hard pressed and so focused on what's next, and just kind of enjoying the present moment a little bit.
Absolutely. I love that answer. And head coach Keith Patterson talked about wanting that signature win for the program. You guys thought you were going to get it at Texas Tech, but this was a huge one against number 5 Central Arkansas at the time. How do you feel like this win impacted the confidence in the team's locker room as you guys sit at the top of the UAC standings?
I think it was great. I believe. We have big goals. Obviously, I come here, I want to win a championship as far as conference. I want to win the national championship, and I have full belief in that. And I think that it was just I think it was great, just kind of showing everybody in this locker room that, hey, like we can do what we say we want to do, and we want to win championships. And It was just a championship type of game that I think was important for just adding on to the confidence that we already have as far as showing us what we can achieve this season.
When your offense gets rolling, you have so many weapons. What is the ceiling from your lens, from what you guys have been able to accomplish so far this season and putting massive numbers on the board?
Like you said, we have weapons all over the field. I mean, I think that makes my job a whole bunch easier. Is that it's not like you're the only guy that's good on the team. I mean, every you point out at any position, and we got elite players that it's any given week you could have a UC or UAC player of the week on offense. It could be any position. It could be Blaine. It could be Trey. It could be JJ. It could be Hut. It could be Gip. It could be Trey. It could be Isaiah. It could be Sam. It could be Mav, and it could be the entire O line. It could be Jed. I mean, there's just any player on this team can be the offensive player of the week at any given time. Just you know, and just how it lands. It could just be anybody, and that's great. And as far as the ceiling, like kind of like what I was saying, offensive player of the week, that could be any of us. So whenever you have offensive players of the week or people who can perform to um, that standard all over the field all at one time, whenever we're all playing like we're the player of the week, I mean, I don't really think there is a ceiling for us, especially once we get rolling and the O line is doing, what they normally do, along with, just 11 guys playing at all times. There's no ceiling, I don't think.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to Sam Hicks last week, who was the UAC Offensive Player of the Week. He had a phenomenal game. That one is on UAC socials if you want to check that one out. And, you came from Texas Tech, and it looked like, did you and KP overlap for a year in 2021, your freshman year there?
Man, we did. I was there with a lot of these guys. I was there with Coach KP. He coached me on some special teams. I was on the scout team going against his defense with Maverick and Jed and Tay. Uh, I mean, Grant was there. I mean, there's every guy on Texas Tech that's here. I was there with them back in Lubbock. So
Was that relationship that you had with those guys and seeing them go to ACU and also KP when he took over the job a big part of the reason that you came to Abilene Christian?
once I hit the portal and, teams started reaching out and, I found out that they were interested and got to talking with those guys. I liked what they were talking about. I liked their plans, their vision for the future, and the confidence they had in this team and what they would do here with or without me. Just wanted to be a part of that and have an impact and do whatever I can to help this university look good, do something we've never done before, and also just to win and play ball.
And Maverick MacGyver, obviously, also coming from Texas Tech. What was it like to be reconnected with your former teammate?
I mean, it was just funny because back then we were on scout team. That year we were just on scout team together, so it's kind of like a foreshadowing a little bit. We used to tear the defense up in scout team, and so coming here and being able to do that against other teams it's been great.
You had a touchdown when you guys played the Red Raiders at Texas Tech in Lubbock. What was that experience getting into the red zone, this time wearing the purple and white?
It was great. Obviously, we wanted to come out with the win there, but I mean, it was great being able to, because I'm from Lubbock, so being able to go back home and score, knowing that it was going to be my last time playing in the Jones ever. Honestly, I didn't. Whenever I came to ACU, I didn't know that we were going to play Tech, and so that was kind of, like a pleasant surprise. I was ready to go back to Lubbock, and it was just great. Praise God that I was able to do that going back home.
Looking at, some of your social media videos that you've posted in the weight room back in May, I mean, you guys are out there grinding. What has that been like for you, just increasing your weight and being able to be stronger and more of a force? Was that a huge focus of the off season for you?
Yes, ma'am. I love off season because I think championships are won in the off season. I don't, and it just comes to light in the season. So off season is really important for me. I take it very serious. I knew that this was going to be my last off season in college, and all of us, on top of the weightlifting and the hard stuff you do, it's always about the process. And you have a result in mind, but it's the process that's going to get you there. And just falling in love with that and giving it all you got during the process. I just think we all took it seriously, and I think it's coming to light now.
Besides the weight room aspect of the off season, where else did you put your focus in just trying to get better for this year?
I think it was whenever I came to Abilene. Obviously, I mean, I transferred for football, and just building my relationship with God, improving as a person, trying to be a better person and be a better leader, stuff like that, was very important for me. I think that the better I am as a person, and as long as I'm getting right with God and everything, that He'll be faithful in the other areas that that He knows I love for my life, and just having the right mindset and the right heart, just building that up for football. I think it all connects together.
You're obviously a natural born leader, and people are going to look to you based on just what you do on the football field. But coming into a new program, did you find it challenging at the start to assert yourself as a vocal leader, or did it just kind of come naturally as you had those connections with KP and so many guys coming from Texas Tech that it was just an easy kind of transition to be a leader and a vocal person in the locker room?
I think for me, naturally, I would like to think that it was easier, but honestly, I mean, it's hard. You go to a new place and you come from Texas Tech, and there's these ideas like, oh, he thinks that just because he's from here or whatever, that he's gonna be. And there's that underlying thing, and that might just be stuff that's only going on in your own head. But I think that anywhere you go, it's not about where you come from or how vocal you are. It's about how hard you work. That's ultimately going to get people to trust in you and listen to you, because I mean, I don't think people care how much, I heard that saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so just being able to do my job and work hard and show other guys I care about you, and anything that I expect from you, it's because I see your potential, and anything I expect from you, I expect it even more so from myself.
And looking at today is Mental Health World Awareness Day. Just if you had a story that you wanted to share in regards to that, or anything that ACU has put in place to put more attention to mental health in athletes, as we know it's now becoming more of a topic that is socially acceptable to talk about and really share how you are doing. Is there anything with that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's real easy for men or college athletes that are supposed to be these macho guys and stuff like that to, when they're going through something, to just stay to yourself and, not really share it with anybody. But ultimately, I think for me, it's my relationship with God. So I know I've noticed that anytime my relationship with God, or, I kind of stray away from Him and don't talk to Him as much, don't spend as much time with Him, or not really showing him any attention in my life, that my mental health is kind of downhill, and it's not where it should be. But for me, it's just God, staying good with Him, talking to Him, just keeping Him in my life and keeping Him as a main focus in my life helps with my mental health. But um, I mean, on top of that, it's just talking to people. I mean, I'm on a team with 100 other people, and if my mental is down and I'm not telling nobody, it's just kind of hard for people to know what's going on, especially if you have a stone face, or you can play it off and act like you're good when you're not. I just think the most important thing is being vulnerable with people that are around you all the time, and just letting them know what you're going through. And like I said, just being vulnerable with people, and especially people that you trust and that care about you and have your best interest in mind, along with just leaving it at the feet of the Father. So that's how I view mental health.
I love that answer with that. And I know that football and studies, it can get stressful at times. What do you do for fun outside of the game that can take your mind off all of that?
Especially back whenever I was at home in Lubbock, I love gardening. So I love gardening. I like reading books, taking notes on books, um, hop on the piano whenever I'm, in that zone, trying to learn new songs and build another skill outside of that. And then, I mean, another typical answer is probably just playing video games.
Are you playing the new Madden version?
I don't even play football games. I tell people all the time, they're always surprised. I don't even really watch football. So I play Warzone.
And gardening, that's an awesome answer. What is in Nehemiah's garden if you had to, set what you wanted in there?
I mean, I got a lot of stuff. I got strawberries, grapes. I got at least a dozen rose bushes, Russian sage, crepe myrtle trees, about 5 or 6 of them. I got a rose bush tree, rosemary, canna lilies, Asiatic lilies, irises, other trees. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I got planted. Mint. I mean, I got a lot of stuff planted back home.
Now, do you use that like the mint or the sage for cooking? Are you a big guy in the kitchen, or you just like to grow the stuff and then have someone else maybe cook it?
I like to use some of this stuff for cooking. I mean, I lived with my grandparents when I was back home the whole 3 years I was there. So, my nana should use the rosemary and stuff like that. Really, just the rosemary is the main thing that we actually use. You got to let the strawberries uh, and just grow and pluck the flowers when they're coming out. Wait a couple years and they'll be fuller and stuff like that. A whole bunch of other little, gardening stuff, but ultimately, whenever it can produce how it's supposed to, definitely use it.
What's the hardest thing that you have found to garden, to create, to plant, to grow?
Some lilies. So, roses are pretty fine. This summer and this heat that we've been having has made it hard on the plants, but there's certain lilies that I had a hard time figuring out how much I should water them and stuff. And so just growing things that I wasn't, getting out of my comfort zone, trying to put something different in the garden. Uh it was, I don't remember what lilies it was. I think it was Asiatic lilies. They actually died out a year ago and then just came back this year. But
Now, do you wish that, at your apartment or whatever, wherever you're staying in Abilene, that maybe you had a little backyard or a little porch that you could grow stuff on?
yeah, I mean, it's funny because this year, whenever I got here, I actually planted a bed of, oh yeah, I grew sunflowers back home too, but um I put sunflowers in the front yard, and then this place that we're staying at, they have like people who do the upkeep, gardeners, and they sprayed like poison all over my sunflowers and it killed them all. And in the side yard, I did plant 26 watermelon plants. I ended up getting 26 watermelon plants, and it's kind of a jungle out there right now. I got a whole bunch of little watermelons.
Wow, I'm still struggling to keep like 3 houseplants alive. So very impressed with that. And you mentioned staying with your grandparents in Lubbock. What has that relationship done for you? Having that close knit family in Lubbock that you can be able to lean on and help with everything going on with football, academics, and life.
It means a lot to me. I mean, my family is pretty much the main reason I do what I do and want to succeed at a high level doing what I do. Ultimately going to the NFL, being able to give back to my family and make sure that they're good and get to see a life that they never thought that they would be able to see. And so, I mean, that's been great. I was real close with the grandparents I stayed with, and also my other ones. I just happened to uh, live with the ones who I grew up with. They were my neighbors for as long as I can remember. So, they're in their later years, and I kind of made that decision by thinking, do I want to spend the time that I'm here at Tech, being in Lubbock in my own apartment and, living like a normal college student, or will I look back, 15 years from now, 20 years or however long it is whenever they die and look back and be like, man, I wish I would have spent that time with them. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. And so I'm just happy that I made that decision to live with them, spend that time with them, have them talks with them, and develop that relationship as an adult with them, and learn things about them that I never would have learned if I wouldn't have stayed with them.
That's an awesome answer and really mature mindset for a college football player too. And I know you also have 6 siblings. So take me through that dynamic and their support system as well.
It's great. Especially, I got 2 older brothers, Jeffrey and Jai. Uh, they're 27 and 28 right now, and I grew up always wanting to be like them and always wanted to do what they do. Um, are y'all fixing to come in here? We gotta come talk. Okay. Um, sorry. Well, that's locked. Just appreciate it. Joe, see your brother? Growing up, with older brothers, always wanted to do what they're doing. Um, I'm sitting in somebody else's locker here, but I always wanted to do what they were doing, and they played football. My dad, he was a great high school athlete, and just always looking up to them, and on being a little brother, wanting to prove them wrong and all that type of stuff. But ultimately, just wanting to see a smile on their face and basically get their, what's the word for it? Basically, them just saying like, not being proud because I don't like that word, but being happy for me, being happy that I'm doing what their dreams used to be, and I'm actually living it out, and like they get to know that they did their job as older brothers, as parents, stuff like that. So
Why do you not like the word proud?
just in the Bible, how it talks about pride is the destruction of man, and anytime pride is the opposite of being humble, and whenever you're proud, it's going to lead to your fall. But if you're humble, then you'll get what everything that God has for you. If you exalt yourself, He'll humble you. If you humble yourself, He'll exalt you. And I've been in a part of my life where I exalted myself and He humbled me, and I don't really like it that much.
Well, in the NFL where, you get a touchdown, you see them hand the touchdown ball to their family members, or at least keep it. Do they have something like that at ACU or even at Texas Tech where you could keep one of those footballs that you got the touchdown on and save them and give them to your brothers or any of your family members?
I'm not sure. I've never really asked about it or tried to do it. I'm sure they might let me, but normally I just give my gloves to my family, jerseys that the university gives us, and I plan on just saving, giving them a ball once I get to the NFL. So
Well, I love that, and it was an absolute pleasure speaking with you today.
thank you.
Abilene Christian will take on North Alabama on the road in Florence at 6 p.m. Central Time kickoff on ESPN+.